that second one earlier, you can also do that. Okay, you don't have to submit them all on the same day. I would suggest don't do that. Okay, don't leave it for the last minute. Make sure everything is already done as you are going along. When you finish your task one and you feel like you're ready to submit that one, it will be open until the 19th. Okay. But in that one you'll see there it's only 10% for the first task. Then we've got 10% for the second one. The third one is 15%. So it requires also a bit more when you answering the question, you must get a bit more detail. You must be using, remember you must use your other classes as well. All of your coaching classes. What's the other one? I think I put them here. You see there's a bunch of them that will contribute to your understanding so that you're coming from a place of knowledge and not just your own answers. So I'll show you.
Coaching in the fundamentals, most likely the basic injury prevention.
Yeah, basic coaching sciences, then you have coaching in the 4 domains. Some in the coaching in the 4 domains, and then there's what's the other one? Something like ethics. Do you have ethics in your thing or not? Ethics module. You see some of the stuff is related to ethics and all of that. So when you are answering the questions, just think about, okay, what is my slide also saying? And then you're answering the questions based at where you are at the club. But when you are at that club and you are busy watching the coach and shadowing the coach, the ethics part in those questions, you must also have a look at your slides just to see, okay, what approach am I going to take from theory that applies to what I'm seeing, and then you also put your input there along with the theory itself. Okay, so you don't just answer the questions independently of the other modules that you do. Okay, because you see there's some things that even refers, they'll even tell you in the task, refer to your module on basic coaching science or coaching in the 4 domains to get your answer right. Okay, obviously the more informative it is and correct it is, then the higher the mark will be for it. Okay, and then you've got the 23rd of October. Can you see how late that is? So you've got a few more months to do. 4, 5, and 6 will all be on the same due date. So you can decide. So if you finish with one, submit it and move to the next one. Okay, if you leave it all to the last one, like last year, these 3 were killing people. They were even submitting the wrong stuff. Okay, because I was so under pressure because the time is now there. It's already been that many months that you were able to do this. So if you didn't do it, then you know, okay, now you're rushing and to write a whole task, which is a PDF document of 10 pages in an hour. Your answers are going to be, you're going to get 2 out of 10 for this section, 1 out of 10 for that section because you're not answering properly. Yeah. Okay, so all of these things you must just be, you must manage your time properly. So that's why you don't want to put too much pressure in saying that, okay, we need to have this one quite early. I said, rather, there's your times, you know which task. And as you do tasks, you know, once I'm done with this, I can move to the next one. Let's just move. Okay. Right, so that's just the breakdown. Now let's go back to the other stuff. And remember with this one, you need to get, you see the last summative is how much? It's 30%. Okay, so with the last summative, you'll see there's things like you have to do online courses. Okay, but the online courses, it's all in the task. It will tell you must go to this website, register your email address, make a password, and all the courses are free. You just have to complete it, get the certificate, and you paste the certificate in your PDF when you're submitting task 6. So it will show, okay, you've done all of the ones that were required. That is already giving you 3 marks there. That last one, you can literally, you're getting the knowledge of the certificate, but the certificate counts for, I think, about 70% of that task. So you can already get 70% in the bag by doing all of the certificates that you need to pass. Then you have that, you also use a certificate in your CV, like I've done this course, I've done this course, I've done this course. You add it to your CV, this will be all listed there. That helps you in the job applications as well. Okay, so you'll have things like safeguarding in sport, basics of exercise science, I think, is also in there. What's the other one? There's injuries, there's one on injuries there. So you can have all of those certificates that you can say, I have done these courses already, here's my certificate, along with my CV. And it makes you more desirable. Okay, for your job. Okay. Okay, so the learner guide in there. So now let's go to the next point. So you can follow along. I just want to see if I can change this quickly. Okay, so this is what you're going to see there. You see your learner guide, the information. These policies you can read through them. This is called a plagiarism policy. So obviously if you're writing, you can't copy and paste directly from chat and all these things. They'll pick up these things, right? When you submit. So it will flag you as a student that's not presenting proper work on your own. So we'll be able to see and give you detailed shots where it comes from and all of that stuff. So we'll be able to see it from this website exactly copy pasted all of those things. Okay, so it must be your own work. That's the important. Because you are at the club, you're with the coach, you're experiencing and you're answering the questions based on what's happening in front of you. Okay. And then let's see, getting started. So this one we kind of discussed last week, but this is, if you go in there, you'll see it's telling you it must either be a sport club that must be affiliated to a formal sports structure or to a regional or provincial structure. Now we said if you have a sport club and they play in a league, they're almost probably going to be in some regional structure. But if you go to that coach and to that club, they'll tell you what the structures are, because they don't. They'll tell you we are affiliated to this, and this we are connected to this, this, and you're going to answer that question there. Or we said also that you can be in a school. Okay, and remember the schools are going to obviously be connected to a structure already. Okay, so all of those things you know you're going to find in schools. As long as the school doesn't participate in inter-school sports. If they don't, then it's weird. We don't know if it's a real school. Okay, so it has to be a school that's something's happening. Okay, there's some other changes here. This date's going to be the 19th now. No, sorry, the 24th of April. Okay, so you'll see I put it in the other sections. This is the change we are both of these two. Okay, so what does it say here? Identify a place you want to do your wall at. You need the wall placement letter. Okay, I'm going to show you where the wall placement letter is. Let's go to important forms first. So this is the things that you need to start off with this module. You first need a wall placement form. That is where you found a place, and the person that is going to be your mentor is going to be the one that's going to read the form, sign the form, and provide their CV. Okay, or their work experience, anything that they have close to their CV. That you're going to submit those two things first. Wall placement letter, CV, so that we can verify whether this is a real person, real club, and they will read. Okay, so let's look in the 2026 one. If we go into the wall form, let's just see what it looks like here. Okay, so it will download straight like that. Okay, so you see the whole letter, it's already written out for you. Okay, it's telling you that this is what the wall program is going to entail. It also will ask them that the tasks that you're going to be doing will be observed during training sessions, understanding the vision and training sessions where students can assist the coach, observe, assist at competitions, as well as to give the student an opportunity to practice their skills in real life. So it's giving them a heads up on everything that they need to do. So you see here it says what is expected by students, so they will read this, identify the sport club, then complete the assigned task, which is 6 in total, and after completion they submit all evidence for grading. That's what you're going to submit on to Moodle. Okay, but it's not an official appointment, so it's not like a contract that they have with you that like if you break it, they're in trouble. Okay, it's just to say that we know that you have something that they are not lying to us, basically. Okay, and then you'll see there, like I've signed that page there, but at the bottom they will need to be completed by the manager. So this part is either the head coach or the club manager can sign the wall placement. It doesn't have to specifically be the coach. The coach that you are shadowing is going to be in the other forms you're going to submit with the tasks. So this one, it can be the coach. If the coach is important and is part of the structure, it can be you, but you'll see where it says to be completed by the manager. So who's in charge of the club? So your coach will fall under that person. This is the person that's giving permission so that you can use the coach that's under him. And then you'll see when you do the tasks, you have to add in forms that's specific from the coach, not from the manager. Okay, so this is just giving you permission. So there's the thing there, it will have the affiliation, they will know all of these things. And then you see here, we've got the coach's details. So this will be the person that you are actually shadowing. Okay, the contact number there, you can see I as the manager. Sometimes managers are the head coach that you are shadowing, so it might be the same person. Okay, that's why we just put all of those in there. And then you'll see there your name and surname will go there. You'll fill out your student number. This is for you basically to say that they will be looking after you, the student. Okay. Once this is signed, you will have this form, make it a PDF, upload it to the link for the world placement form before the 24th of April. Okay, if you do it earlier than that, I can clear you earlier than the 24th, you can start earlier. But this is just the date that you cut it off. Okay, so if you do everything before the time, I will already clear you, you can already start on tasks 1, 2, and you can do it online. Okay, so you don't have to wait for the 24th. If you do, when there's problems on the 24th, I don't have some. It's going to take you even longer, the tasks are going to be due. You need time to go watch these sessions, to be in the team, so it's going to put you further behind. Okay, so the earlier, the more proactive you are, the better it's going to be for you. Okay, okay, so that's the first thing. We just need that whole program. Wall placement, and you'll see they're all under important documents on the side. So that's the first thing you need. Then you need the mentor feedback sheet. Now these two forms that I'm going to show you now, number 2 and number 3, these are the ones that must always go with your tasks. So in your tasks you can have the PDF, and you must try and put them all in one PDF. So your task, your mentor feedback, and your student field experience. Even if you take pictures of them on your phone or whatever, you upload it and you have it as a picture that you paste, but a big picture on one of the pages of your PDF. At least I can see the writing, I can see what they wrote on the form, their signature, and all of that stuff. Okay. Or if you're scanning it, if you're at the library, you scan it into one PDF document, and you know this is the one I'm going to submit for the task. So the task should be one PDF document with 3 things in it. These 2 forms plus the actual task that I'm going to show you an example. Making sense? Okay. So let's look at the feedback one now. Okay, so you see if you click on it, it will just download. Okay, so this one you're going to have with every single task. There you're going to put the number of the task, what the task is called. You'll see each task is named something different. Obviously your name, your date, and then you'll put UJ there, right? Then you'll see the student's ability to complete the task given. So this is for the mentor. This is your coach. He's going to fill this in, but you can fill in these parts because you already know your own details. Even if you fill in this one and you leave it as your template, and then every time you do a new task, all you have to come and do is just change to task 1, task 2, task 3, and then your coach is going to fill in one of these. So you'll say initiative and creativity, initial creativity, completing the task. They will rate you based on how you did your task. Okay? And for all of them, they're going to give you a rating for each one of those, and they can put a comment here if they want to say maybe the person who wasn't that involved or was extra involved, helped me a lot with the training. You get all of those things there. And then general comments they will also give you for their task. They will sign there, they'll put their date. The position will obviously be, I think it'll be coach, most probably, or head coach, and their contact number. So if you already know who this coach is, you can already fill out, you'll be a coach in this position. Keep their contact number there because you're doing the same coach for each task, and then just let them sign each time with a pen. That's it. So you can already fill out the form to make sure, okay, this is going to be my template. I'll just change little numbers here and there. Let them sign, let them fill out this. That's for task 1. Same for task 2, all the way to task 6. They're going to be signing these things. Okay, so we're happy with how the sheet looks. Then we have the next one, which is the student field experience. This is now where you are going to respond back to this. So this, you also get marks for this. For all of this, we're going to go into every single the experience log. So this is same thing again, task number, student name, all of those things. But then what did you learn from this task? If you just say there, learned a lot, I can't give you marks. And these are the easy marks. These 2 forms is already giving you 10% and 10% in your marks. So that's already 20% just for filling out these forms. Then the task is going to be the rest of the 80%. Okay, so if you are honest with this, you must tell me exactly, because I'm interested to find out what are you learning. Sometimes I learn from your task. I look in here and you say something there and I'm like, I didn't think of this aspect before in terms of coaching. Because I'm not going to experience everything you guys are going to experience. You experience something new, I can see that taking it outside for myself. But also you learning it and putting it on paper so you know what to look out for in the future. future now. You actually go to the real world and you're doing these things. Okay. So what did you learn from there? What information from the center club assisted you in completing this task? So remember there's different tasks, so these things will be different for each thing. Okay, so one student last year also did this. He's supposed to be in class now. He also failed this module last year. And he only answered this for the tasks. This and the other sheet. But he didn't do the task. Because it was the final day, he needed to submit tasks, I think 4 to 6, and there was only 3 hours left. So there was no way he's going to go and write 10 pages here, 10 pages there. There's no time. And then he just submitted this, only got full marks for this, 30% for each task. So he's failing the entire year. And it's easy to fail this because you take it lightly, like I don't have time, or I can just make up something. But when you see the marks, because I'm reading all of those things, and I'm saying, someone's just writing something, whatever they can see, they're thinking about it last minute, and I can see, and then I say, they didn't even look at their coaching in the 4 domains, and like, this person is. And I want to see you learn. It's about the learning part. I'm not worried about getting 100% for everything. I want to see what did you actually take away from this. Because if you want to do coaching, you have to do this environment. Okay. So all of this here, you see there, how will this task assist the club? You must be honest about this. How is it influencing? Maybe it's even changing the coach's mind about things. Maybe they're a coach, but they're not studying what you're studying, so they don't know the principles and all of these things. You guys are actually there to also assist and help, but not to stand on their feet. You stand on their toes, they're going to take you and say, this guy is, or this girl is literally undermining me, telling me stuff every time he comes in here. You must be clever about the way you do it. You must just throw small things in and say, I learned this in class. Let me just ask him, what do you feel about what I learned in class? If they don't say anything about it, you're like, do you know about this principle? There's the triangle, there's 3 different aspects. Like, how do you guys approach it? And they'll be like, I don't even know about that stuff. Then you can go and say, look, well, this is what we learned here. Maybe we can try and implement this in the club and see what it is. Then you put things like that in this session. And you'll know, okay, there's something I added to the club. I introduced this thing to them, they actually adopted it, now they're using it in the club. You making the club better, maybe even the club says, next year, what are you doing? Okay, so it might be a thing where you actually can get something out of this. Okay, did you see all of this? What role did you play in assisting in this task? How would you rate your attempt? So it seems like it's asking questions where you can just say whatever, but be honest about it, because I read all of this stuff. And I want to see what are you finding. Okay, so those are then going to be the 3 things. So these 2, number 2 and number 3, is going with your task. Role placement letter only once at the start before the 24th of April. Okay, that's all we need for now. Let's see what else here. Then let's go to the venue and see what's in there. Okay, so there you'll see due date 24th of April. So the venue is basically the role placement and the CV. So you'll see there's a link here. This one you see 24th of April, so it's already open. And if you find anyone, you can already start submitting until the 24th. There's all the instructions, must be in PDF, all of that stuff. So you can just go and read it and see. You can literally go into Mentor CV upload. So you upload the CV there. Add submission. So now if I go to add submission, I'm going to click 1 plus, put my file in, choose it from my desktop or wherever it is, and then I'll click submit at the bottom, and then it will be submitted to me online. And go over there. No. 24th is only for the wall placement, where you just tell us about it, and the CV. That's the only 2 things. Yeah. So once those 2 things are in, then I look at it. We have to contact people and see if they're real or not, and all that stuff. Then after you get the go ahead, because we'll send you a personal email saying you are now able to start your tasks. Then you can start accessing the tasks, and all of those things will be open to you. But if you don't have the mentor, then you obviously will not be able to just, because then I know you're just writing now and you're making up people. Okay. Okay, so that's where you will submit all of the tasks like that. Okay, let's see, so that's there's one there for the CV. This is 24th of April, and then the mentor one is also, sorry, the role placement also 24th of April. Okay, so you see these are all just in links. You'll just be able to see where it says venue and mentor. Okay. So that's where you're going to upload all of those. And then you will see the task example. So you see the tasks are not available now. You will see task 1 to 6 will show up under here once you've got your menus. Okay, but I'm going to show you an example now of this task. Okay, so you see, you must just read this out, just basically explaining a task 1 from one of last year's students. So you'll see there's 19th of June again, task 1 to 3, before 5 o'clock on that day. Okay, but in there you'll see that in the example here, I'll show you how it goes. Okay, so this is the page that you get with the task. When you go into the task, it's going to be a Word document that's going to have this first page one. So you must always include this in your PDF. So you'll start off with, obviously, the module name. You'll put your name there, student number, right? Then you'll sign the declaration saying that you obviously know this is your own work, you're not stealing from someone else, it's truthful and all of those things. Okay. Your signature, your date is, so that's your cover page. For every task I'll have a cover page. Then, this is how the coaching task looks. Whenever you open a task, it will say the task name there. And can you see there's a table here? Okay, so the table has big headings on here, on this side, and small heading on this side. There's a bold heading and a small heading. So when you are doing your task, you need to say, this is section appreciate the big picture, and when you see in the brackets, it's telling you 1 page minimum for the whole of this section. So it can't be less than that. If it's more than that, it's even better. Because then I know you are looking at theory, you are discussing things. If I see it's less than 1 page, it might be that you're not putting 100%. So I can see you're not really understanding, you're not engaging. Okay. So there is the first one. That's the second heading. And then these are the questions on the side. So you're going to write down the headings, sub-heading, write down the question, then you're going to answer under the question. But I'm going to show you how the example is. Okay? Because it's easier when we're marking, because it's a lot of writing. Some people last year were just doing paragraphs. Now I need to find out which paragraph is answering which question. Because sometimes the paragraph is not even making sense to the question, and I can't see where it's supposed to go. So you give you a mark for each section. You want to see what's your engagement there. Okay, so if you look at that there, you see at the bottom, there's telling you again 1 page minimum. You can go 2 pages maximum if you want. Even 3 pages if you're getting into it. Okay, the more you have and the more detailed it is, the more marks I can give you. Then I can't argue with you. If you're getting a good understanding and you're discussing and all that, that's easy 80-90% for the task. If it's minimalist and it's small paragraphs and 1 sentence and it's not making sense, that's 1 out of 10 for that section. Why are you getting only 10% there? You should be getting more. Okay. So all of those things, so you see there's all these different sections, and in there is questions in different paragraphs. Okay, so you must tell me what is the heading. You can even put in your heading 1 page minimum if you want. But I'll show you an example. So this is how the task was presented by the student. They put the first page, the second page was the task, the third page is where they started actually doing the task. Okay? So you see there's a table of contents. What is all of the headings there? It's all of the bold headings. It's all of the 1 page minimum, telling you all of those. Then what do we have next? We start off with appreciate the big picture, which is the bold heading. Then we have the smaller heading, beware of the community in which you will operate. Then we have the questions after them. And this is the answer to the question. Okay, so you see how it's giving me what the main aspect is, what the smaller aspect is, and then the actual. Okay, how do you respond to the actual question itself? Include whatever level of coaching. So if I go back to the task, and I look at this section, you see there's appreciate the big picture. They answer this one first. Now, that's the second part, is include what level of coaching is taking place. Now I know they answer that. The last one is, in your observations, do you see any challenges that the sports program or participants face? Okay, so this is getting to know the club. If I go back down, you'll see there's the heading for that section. In your observations, do you see what it could be? Then I know, okay, you're going to be answering that. Can you see how this aspect here, they have different aspects, several challenges faced. And they found this in the club, there's resource constraints, there's coaching expertise and staff capacity might be low, participant development and retention. They're looking at all these different things and they're commenting on it. And some of these things are coming from the other modules where they already know that when you are trying to assess a club, what is the main things you need to look for? So you see how now it's making sense. Now I know, okay, you know it from theory, but now you also see, okay, theory is saying this, but this is now what actually is happening at the club in relation to what we've been taught before. Okay. Now this mark is something I can really give an understanding for. Then we have section 2, which is alignment and governance. Same small headings, actual questions are written down, here's all the answers. So that's how the task must be done. Okay, so you just follow each task, and they'll all be in tables like that. So you just make sure that you follow exactly like this. So this is available to you. You'll see it says task example. You can click in there, go look at it again before you submit task 1. See how does it relate to what you are saying. Okay, this one is it's a good one because it gets very deep into some aspects. This one you can also have a look at before you submit your task 1 to see are you on par. Is there some ideas there that maybe you are also making sense of, and you're adding your own stuff also. Okay, so that's how all these tasks are. So it's going to be all together, like I said, so there's all the questions that they answered, but can you see in the same document? There's the field experience log that they've got. There's the mental feedback. It's all in the same PDF document. Okay, so you can either have it right at, I would say have it right at the end, the last 2 pages. The one can be the mental feedback, the other one can be the field experience. It can be in any order, which any order you want to have that in. But then I access this entire document. Okay. Alright, are we happy with that? Okay, so that's how the tasks are going to work. And you'll see the tasks are they're building on, and as you are also doing your other modules, you'll see, okay, maybe I must do task 1 now, maybe task 3 is better to come before task 2. Depends on what phase also the club is at. Maybe the questions in task 3 makes more sense for you to do this week. Then task 2 you can maybe do the week after. And you'll see maybe when you're arranging with the coach and saying, this is what tasks I'm going to do 1 to 3. When can I do task 1? When will task 2 be better? When will task 3? And you can just see, but then you know you're going to submit task 1, and the task 1 will have its own link. Task 2 will have its own link. Task 3 its own link. And you just keep on submitting. Okay, and that's how it's going to work. Is there any questions? Okay, so I might send you some stuff also, like I said, for some clubs. I might also send you opportunities. Like I said, there was some lady that was there for some cricket thing that wants to speak to us, I think, tomorrow. So maybe if she has spaces there, we can also see if we give her your contacts, or just put the contacts on and then see who she can accommodate as well for those who maybe haven't found something. If you know there's a club close to your house or someone that's structured, go there. If there's a school where you live, maybe that's the school that you're going to because it's close to home. Maybe if it's you, one of the UJ teams, if you approach them, then they'll say yes, depending on if you approach them with all of the letters and all of these things. It can either be at UJ, schools, clubs, just see which one works the best for you. But try to start it now in case it's the last day and now you don't have it. Because now to arrange all of those things, you're going to fall behind. So let's just try now and see if we can already get someone, get the CVs upload. It's already open, all of the links for those first, for the world placement and for the CVs already open. So from now you can already start putting it in if you need to. And you let me know as soon as it's there, I'll see it. We can open up the other tasks for you to see. And you can continue and move through that. Okay. Right, and that's it. So that's going to be okay. Okay, so you're not going to have any more classes on any of these things because remember this is now all of the world will be out there doing things. But if you need help and you guys as a group want to come together, just say like maybe we need more help with something else on a different task. And you can say maybe which day, which Thursday you can select. We'll select one of the Thursdays and then you'll just meet. Just to keep tabs and keep you on the track. So you're not wasting time or maybe just need some encouragement or something. Some parts is really for you, like how do I sort this out? If you don't even want to do that, just email me directly. Like I want to have one. Last year they called me that one-on-one sessions. You come in with your problem, we can try and help you one way. And you can just okay, but from now on, this class will then just be if we need the venue, but you don't have to come in for next week. So we have more issues, so we decide if we want the class or you do the individual emails. It's up to you guys. Okay. Alright. Did I leave you in good hands? Are you going to be fine? Okay, just try and make sure you find the clubs. That's the first part. Then we'll start moving from there. The task, you'll see, they'll be easy enough to answer. It's just you have to be there, you have to experience and say the exact things that you'll see. Not lies. Okay. Right, thank you. Okay, I hope that helped you just a little bit.